I don't think I can put it into words. Honestly, it feels like it's been such a long time coming, and just relief that actually we get a chance to experience it all. We've been trying to put off the excitement, like we've got other games to focus on, we've got other jobs to do, and then this morning it was like the first message that was in the group is it's Wembley week, so it's like finally now we can enjoy it.
Has it been difficult to try and put it at the back of your mind, because it is, you are making history this week?
Yeah, it has, and I think when you ask us all before the other games, you're like, no, we're focused on this game, it's one game at a time. You're trying to convince yourself, I think, that you are focused on that game. Look, we were fully invested in the games, but equally we were always thinking, hang on, we've got Wembley in a few weeks, we want to be ready for that, that's a huge game, what's more important? It is hard, and we have struggled to balance it at times, but I think now we're just grateful that we got through to this week and now we can enjoy it.
You went down to Wembley last week for the photo shoot, had a look around. What was it like doing that, knowing that you will be back there running out on the field?
That was the first time it felt real, because obviously all the other times I was speaking about Wembley and how important it was we hadn't got there. So when we actually went down and I was looking around, I was like, wow, we're actually going to walk out. Every single thing I looked at, I thought, we're going to walk out there, we're going to get a chance to do that. And it was the first time I looked at the stairs as you go up, where you collect your medals, where the trophy will get presented, and I was like, now we need to go and try and win it. Like, we've got there, we're in Wembley, right? We've got this experience, brilliant. Now we've got a job to do for 80 minutes against a tough Leeds side, so that made that bit real as well.
Is it going to be up until the whistle blows that you kind of can't focus on what's happening, because it is all... I know you've played in Challenge Cup finals before and internationals, and you've had the anthems and everything, but this is going to be different.
I think it is. I think it's the build-up that ends up different. We're going down the day before. We've never done that as a squad before. Not as a Saints squad. We've never travelled and stayed over anywhere before a game. I think it's all that excitement, we're going down in suits and looking all fancy, and it's all those little things that we're not quite used to that get you a bit excited, maybe can preoccupy you a little bit. And I think especially walking out as well, having to line up, see the crowd, and that's going to be a lot to take in. It's going to be emotional, I think, for a lot of people. So I think it's just trying to train ourselves that, embrace that, enjoy it, but then as soon as the whistle goes, it's switch on and you have to, basically blinkers on, forget all of that that's going on, and it's an 80-minute game.
Now Edwin and Pape's mentioned earlier, they don't know what they're going to wear. They're not quite sure what we think they're going to be wearing leopard print suits. I'm assuming you've got something a bit more, I don't want to say classy, because refined.
Yeah, a little bit more subtle, probably. You know what? It's really exciting. I think the girls, straight away as soon as we got there, had 1,000,001 questions. Well, what are we doing here, and what's this, and what are we going to wear? And I think girls are usually a little bit more organised than the men, I think, as a standard. So wanted all the answers to all the questions straight away, and it's took some time, but the club have bent over backwards to make this occasion special for us. Rolling out the red carpet for us to make sure we have the best experience we can. I can't thank the club, I can't thank Mike Rush enough for everything that he's doing for us. So we need to be grateful as well for this opportunity and everything the club's doing for us, because it's new and it's different, and actually they're embracing it fully despite the heartbreak of the men not getting there. And that was a tough day for the club, to be happy for us, but equally at the same time it gutted about the men not getting there as well. But you wouldn't feel that at all. They've not let us feel that. They've made us feel really special, so it's exciting.
Well, this is all very nice, but we're trying to build up a rivalry here. How much do you dislike Leeds?
You know what? Dislike's probably the wrong word to use, but when we look at the fixtures at the start of the year, obviously you don't really get pulled in the Challenge Cup, but the league fixtures, and you see the York, you see the Leeds ones, and it's like a big massive star, they're the games, they're where we've got to be on it. And you know what, we thrive in these big games. We've got some huge names, big players who just, when the pressure's on, when it's a tight game, when they have to be at their best, they just raise their standard 10 times, and that fills me with confidence as a player and as a captain, that we've got those sorts of players in our team. And we've had to do it tough against Leeds before. They've broke our hearts in some semi-finals, and it hurt, and I think we wore the scars of that for quite a while. And it wasn't until 2021 that I think we wiped that away when we beat them in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup. We probably celebrated that semi-final like we'd won it, because it felt like the biggest deal ever beating Leeds, because they just always got one up over on us, and it's horrible. You see them lift it and you're like, oh. And then actually on a one-to-one basis you're happy for each individual, but when they're a Leeds team, when they're wearing that blue and amber, you look at them, you're like, they are the enemy. For that 80 minutes they're the enemy, And at the end of the game, you know, on the pitch, you'll see lots of hugs and, you know, lots of well dones from both sides, whatever the result. But I think for the 80 minutes, they absolutely are the enemy, and anything in blue is going to get hit as hard as you possibly can.
So you won't be picking out anybody in particular, but big shot on Amy early on, do you reckon? Now that she's moved into the pack.
I know, I'll tell you what, I can't believe it. She don't look right in blue and yellow, I'll tell you that for sure. She looked better in white and red. But look, Amy's an amazing player, so irrelevant of her playing for our club, I think she's a name that anyone picks out on the team sheet, knowing you've got to deal with her. She's really powerful, she's really quick as well. Like, for someone of that sort of strength to have the speed that she's got, she's hard to handle. So she's someone we pick out on our team sheet, of course she is. We want to get in her face, we want to try and stop her early. And I'm sure she'll be thinking, give me that ball, I want to take it to him at the same time. So yeah, look, Amy's a name. Caitlin Beavers, I think, has been outstanding. When she had a couple of injuries this season like myself, but when she's been on the field, I think she's been pivotal to Leeds. So she's another one I think we need to shut down early. So they've got strike on the edges and play very different to York. So I think we've got to change the way we play to suit the challenge that Leeds are going to throw at us, which is a totally different one to York. I think they do have those individuals who can score from anywhere, even when the back's against the wall. They can just come up with some magic play where you just think, how have they managed that? So yeah, we need to keep our composure and not get overwhelmed when maybe that does happen, because actually we expect it. You know, they're a top quality side, we're not going to have everything our own way, so we have to be able to manage that.
Can we expect a facial injury from you this week?
Probably. It's pretty common, isn't it? I've usually got some sort of bruise, broken nose. I had it reset actually this week, and I think that was more painful than doing it on the pitch. Like, literally broke it a couple of times over the last few weeks. So I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's recovered enough. I had Sunday off to try and help my face recover a little bit ahead of the final. So I'm fingers crossed it's going to be okay. I wish I could. I think I need it. But no, I think I should be all right. Hopefully don't put my face in the wrong place this time, but who knows. I think everyone just puts the body on the line to get the result you want. Every single girl does that on the pitch, and sometimes that means you come out with black eyes and broken noses and, you know, cuts and stitches and whatever else. But I think it shows how tough and physical the game is now.
I know we've talked a lot about the game and how that might go, but you're effectively wearing two hats because you're in charge of women and girl development, and this is massive, not just as an occasion, but the implication it might have for somebody watching the game who's never seen it before, and the surroundings and the colour and the excitement that you'll have. I mean, do you sense all that? Can you take all that in? Is there another role for you to promote that as best you can?
You're totally right, yeah. I do always think of it from that other side as well. It's like you have your Saints hat on where you think, I want to win no matter what, and you'd love to win easy, so that the nerves are feel good as well, but you know that's not going to happen. You know it's going to be tough, and actually on the other side of it I go, I want it to be a dead tight, close game where we're showcasing the best women's rugby league has to offer. That's what you want as well, because you want every fan who tunes in, whether that's brand new to rugby league or just new to the women's game, you want them to look at it and go, wow, these girls can play. So yeah, I always have two hats on, and I think this, to me, this Wembley final feels very similar to what the World Cup did in terms of an opportunity for exposure. The World Cup was that, and I think we delivered. I think when it mattered, England women stepped up. Yes, we didn't get to the final, we didn't lift the trophy, and that's still heartbreaking now, but I think the way we performed, the way the nation got behind us, I think we did our job from that respect. So again, that's where in that World Cup I had player hat where I was a bit disappointed with not getting to the final, not winning it. But then I had my job hat on where I went, you know what, we did a really good job, and all the girls that were in that stand who were inspired by us, who were watching at home, you know, they're going to be the next generation who might go on and lift a World Cup trophy. So yeah, always got two hats on. This Wembley final I think is the same. This gives young girls at home the chance to go, I can play at Wembley one day, I'm going to do everything I can to get there. So yeah, I think no matter what, women's rugby league is going to be a winner. Hopefully the winning colours are red and white.
And it'll be been back to Australia because it's on the BBC. They always take the games.
Yeah.
The NRLW is obviously a fantastic competition. We're starting to see we've got 3 star players out there. We don't want all of our talent to go there, but do you think it actually might work the other way, that if Australians and New Zealanders see you running out at Wembley and that occasion that they don't really have over there just yet, that it might tempt a few more of them over here?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, we saw Georgia Hill come over and she represented Leeds on a number of occasions, and I think it was great for her to see and experience that. You know, we've got players now seeing where the standard is. It's okay comparing, which we all do naturally. We go, oh, that competition's better, or this is, or we've got this right, they've got that right. But our girls can go out there now and genuinely speak from experience. Georgia Hill could do the same, and you could see how tough that game was, that Leeds York opener, where York came out on top. And you know, I hear from the Leeds girls that Georgia was saying that's as tough as a women's NRL game. Arguably, they probably have more tougher games, but actually the best standard is just as tough. So, yeah, hopefully that all translates and people want to be part of big occasions like this. We have to put the women's game on stages like this so that it's worth women and girls committing what you have to commit to this sport, because the prize at the top is that good. For me, Wembley is that. You know, I've said a couple of times today that if you'd have asked me a few years ago, right, you can play at Wembley, how much will you pay me and I'll make it happen? I'd have remortgaged my house. I would. I'd have sold my car. I'd have been like, have it all. Like, give me the chance to do that. And now it's a genuine, realistic possibility. So that's how important this is. That's how much I know I'd do anything to get there. Absolutely anything to get there. So hopefully that's what that does now. It brings players from Australia having a look at our competition. It brings players from other sports. We have a lot of talent transfer in the women's game now, whether it be rugby union, which is an obvious one, other sports, gymnastics, netball, some real quality players. Lucy Sams, who is an exciting player. She's part of that squad at the weekend. She was an England netball player. She's on the England rugby union pathway. She could easily be representing those, and actually she's at St Helens wanting to be part of it because of the trophy like this she gets to do for a hometown and lift a Challenge Cup possibly at Wembley. That's huge, and that's why she's here. That's what we need to show.